Hello everyone, this is Mr. Mosito, the mathematics tutor of Fill Up the Gap and the mathematics teacher at 123 School. So today I'll be teaching you the long division method. If you don't understand, just raise up your hand and then maybe I'll detect that you have a question and then I'll answer you. Alright, cool. So like right now on the long division method we have two numbers. No? We have the dividend and we have the divisor. So the dividend is the number that you divide into, and the divisor is the number that you divide with. So on the long division method, we have two numbers, and this is how you see whether this is a long division or what. This is how you do it. All right. Here you put a divisor, and then here you put a dividend. Okay. All right. I'm with my little ones here. They are listening, the grade 7 learners, because this topic is for grade 7, grade 6, I think, grade 6, grade 7, grade 8, and grade 9. All right. In grade 12, there is something like this on cubic functions, but it's just something like this, not this. The phenomenon is still the same, but not exactly this with numbers. I think it's on cubic functions. So I'm with them when I pause at some point and ask questions. I'll be answering them. Actually, I will be asking them questions and then they'll be answering me, or they'll be asking and then I'll be answering them. So don't be surprised. All right, thank you very much. So the first thing that we have to do is to divide the first number. Take your calculator, please. Let us take our calculators. You take the first number, which is your dividend, and your divisor. So these numbers divided by 3. So it's going to be 3 divided by 3. So it's going to be 3 divided by 3. 3 divided by 3 is how much? Is 1. This is a simple method that we will be following. We have D, we have M, we have S, and we have D. Now, someone may ask, what is this? I get it. So D is for divide. The first thing that you have to do, or the first operation that you have to do in long division method is division. And the second one is multiplication after you divide. And then after you multiply, you subtract. And then after you subtract, you drop or you drag. So you have to know what is it that you have to divide, what is it that you have to multiply, what is it that you have to subtract, or what is it that you have to drag. So this is the first one. You divide. We divided 3 by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. We divided. After dividing, what is it that we have to do? Multiply. What are we going to multiply? We are going to multiply the answer that you got with your divisor. So it's going to be 1 multiplied by 3. And it's going to be what? 3. You write your answer here. From there, we are done with what? With multiplication. We have to go to what? Subtraction. What is it that we're going to subtract? We're going to say 3 subtract 3. And 3 subtract 3 is going to be how much? 0. Then we are done with subtraction. What is it that we're left with right now? Dropping. What are we going to drop? We're going to drop this 9. Some teachers do it this way. They do it this way. And they put 9 here. It's still the same. Or it's still fine. Then from there, you no longer go that side. You're going to come this side. All right? So you're going to say 9 divided by 3. 9 divided by 3. You take your calculator and say 9 divided by 3 is going to give you 9 divided by 3. It's going to give you how much? 3. So this 3, the answer, you're going to put it where? Here. Again, we were done with dropping. So when we are done with dropping, we go back and repeat the process. We're going to divide, multiply, subtract, and drop. Divide, multiply, subtract, and drop. Divide, multiply, subtract, and drop. So we are done with dropping. We dropped 9. So we're going to be dividing. Dividing what? Divide 9 by our divisor. This will always be our divisor. It can never be our dividend. It will always be the divisor. It will always divide. Because most grade 9 learners that I teach right now like to say this, or they have the tendency of saying 3 divided by 9, which is wrong. And it has to be 9 divided by 3. 3, this is your divisor. It will always divide. Okay, it will always divide. So divisor, and then what we will be putting here will be our divisor. No, our dividend. This will always be our divisor. It will always divide. And then here, it will always be what? Dividends. Sure. So we said 9 divided by 3. It's 3. The answer, we write it at the top. And it becomes what? 3. So we are done with what? With division. We are going to what now? Multiplication. What is it that we multiply? We multiply this 3 by this 3. And it's going to be what? 9. Then, after multiplying, we are going to subtract. What is it that we subtract? We subtract this from this, meaning that it's going to be 9 minus 9, and it's going to be what? 0. So we are done right now with subtraction. It is time for us to go to what? To division. To what? To dropping or dragging. So we're going to be dragging what? 6. Okay, let me just do it this way. Then from there, it's the same procedure. It's DMSD, DMSD, DMSD. You just have to know or divider in, multiply in, subtract in, or drop in, or end or drop in. So right now we dropped 6. From there, remember, these are our dividends. So 6 divided by 3 is going to be how much? It's going to be 2. So 2 times 3 is how much? Is 6. Then we are done with what? With multiplication. We're going to be doing now what? Subtraction. So 6 subtract 6 is what? 0. And then we are done. How do you see that you are done? Here, there is nothing left on this side. So here on this 0, that's where you stop. All right? All right? So this is our first example, and let me do the second example. All right, this is our second example, which is different or has a different approach. Okay, the approach is different, but it's different. It's a bit different. Let's look at this. So we have 6. Is 6 a divisor or dividend? 6. Is it divisor or dividend? So here we have 3, 2, 4. All right. So this is our dividend, and then this is our divisor. So 3 divided by 6. You take your calculator and you say 3 divided by 6, and it gives you, okay, most learners, let me do this. This is how you use a calculator. You say it's 3 divided by 6, and it gives you a fraction, which is 1 over 2. Then you press this button here, SD, meaning that you're converting the fraction to a decimal. So if it at the beginning only, if it gives you at the beginning only, it's 0.5. So if you divide the first number only, the first number by the other number, which is the divisor, and it gives you 0, something, you don't write it. You put a star there, or you put a dot, provided that it is the what? The first number only. I'm going to do another example whereby we get 0, something here in the middle. You have to put it. But if it's at the beginning, you don't put it. All right? So, 3, you could not get it using 3. So we are now going to 32. Not just 2, but we're going to what? To 32. So you take your calculator and say what? 32 divided by 6. It says 5,333. You don't focus on the numbers that come after comma. You just focus on the number that comes before comma, which is 5. So you're going to put 5 here. Just 5. Then from there, we are done. Oh, it was D, M, S, D. We are done with dividing. We are going to multiply. Multiply what? 5 by 6. You take your calculator and say 5 times 6. 5 times 6 is 30. We are done with multiplication. Now what are we supposed to do? Subtract. Subtract what? 30 from 32. Meaning what? 32 subtract 30 and it's going to be what? 2. See now, on the previous example, we had 0 here, which was a bit easier. But right now, someone may be surprised. Good, how can we find 2? It is possible. Well, now what you have to do is to follow the procedure. Follow the same application of phenomena. Then we are done with subtraction. What are we supposed to do? We drag. We drag what? 4. From there, we have 24 divided by 6. You take your calculator. 24 divided by 6. It's equals to 4. So it's going to be equals to what? 4. Then we are done with what? With multiplication. No. We are done with division. Because we divided 24 by what? By 6. You don't divide 4, you divide 24. On that other side, it was 0.9, it was 0.6. So you divided 0.6 by 3 in a way. Alright? So we said 24 divided by 6 and it gave us how much? 4. From there, we are done with what? With dividing. We have to go to multiplication. What is it that we have to multiply? We multiply 4 by 6. So 4 times 6 is 24. 24. Then we are done with what? With multiplication. Where are we going now? Subtraction. What are we subtracting? We are subtracting 24 from 24. I hope right now you're getting it. Because it's a bit easier, honestly speaking. You just repeat the same procedure time and again and again and again. So right now we are subtracting because we are done with multiplication. So it's going to be 24 subtract 24, it's going to be 0. Okay, and because there is nothing here, for a mere fact that there is nothing here, it means we are done. Or that means we are done with what we've been doing because there is nothing to what? To drag. So that means 324 divided by 6 is 54. That is the implication. Alright? You may pause the video to copy, but me now I'm continuing. Alright? So the ones that we've been doing right now are the ones without a remainder. So this example is an example with a remainder, meaning that when you divide a certain number into a certain number, there is a number that remains. For instance, 3 divided by 2. 3 utanakai, no. 2 utanakai mo 3, 2 utanaka 1. Osadisa 1. Let's talk about 5 divided by 2. 5 divided by 2, 2 utanakai mo 5, 2 utanakai 2, osadisa 1. I think I'm making sense. Let's talk about 5 divided by 3. 5 divided by 3 is what? It's 2, no. 3 goes how many times into 5? It goes once. And the remainder is how much? Is 2. So it goes once with the remainder of 2. But that one is easy because you can see. How about we use the long division method with big numbers to perform such operation? Let's go there now. So we have 6 here, which is our divisor, and we have 1, 2, 4, which is our dividend. So 1, remember, the reason why I'm emphasizing this is that most learners confuse the two. Instead of saying 1 divided by 6, they say 6 divided by 1. So 1 divided by 6 is how much? It gives you, okay, let's take the calculator. 1 divided by 6 equals 2. It says 0, comma. So what did I say? I said if it gives you 0 here, you don't write anything. But if it gives you 0 after you have written something or in a certain number, you write that 0. I hope I'm making sense, right? All right, let me repeat what I just said. If it gives you 0 at the beginning, you don't write it. All right? But if it gives you 0 after writing certain numbers, you will write that number, which is 0, and divide 0. And multiply 0 with this number, and basically write that 0 here and then subtract after multiplying. But we'll get into that one. Let's just continue. All right. So 1 divided by 6 is 0 comma something. We don't write it. We go to where now? 12 divided by 6. So 12 divided by 6 is how much? Is 2. Okay? And then after division, what are we supposed to do? Multiplication. What are we supposed to multiply? We're supposed to multiply 2 by 2. So 2 by 6. So 2 multiplied by 6 is how much? Is 12. Then from there, we subtract. By now, or by far, I suppose you are familiar with this. So I'm going to try to be a bit fast because you are familiar with what I'm doing right now. All right? So you are free. This is a video. You can replay and replay and replay and replay. You're free. So if I'm too fast, it's not like we're in class that you cannot raise up your hand and ask me to say what I just said or what I said exactly as I said it. So right now we multiplied. Then what are we supposed to do? We're gonna subtract this 12 from this 12. So we're gonna say 12 subtract 12. It's gonna be how much? 0. Then from there, what do? We drop. We drop how much? 4. All right. So from now, we say 4 divided by 6. This is exactly what I was talking about. 4 divided by 6 is going to give you 0 comma something. That's 0 because it comes, or you got 0 comma something after you've written a certain number. You will, or you are obliged to write it. You will have to write it. Okay? But if it comes here, you don't write it. But if it comes after you've written a number, you have to write it. I hope this is clear. So 4 divided by 6 is 0 comma something. We focus on the left hand side of the decimal. All right. So from there we say 0 multiplied by 6 is how much? Is 0. Then we are done with multiplication. What are we supposed to do now? Subtract. So 4 subtract 0 is how much? Is 4. We have no value or no number to drag here. That means our 4 is what we call a remainder. We are done. Because there is no number here that we can drag. That means 6 goes 20 times in 124 and leaves behind, or what? And leaves, yes, 4 as a remainder. All right. So I think you understand this as I explained the term remainder at the beginning when I was saying 3 divided by 2, 5 divided by 3, 5 divided by 2. I think you got it right there. All right. So this is it, and this is another example. I hope you're gonna get something from this. You're gonna learn something from this. Yes. So you may copy, and then when I'm continue, you may pause the video and copy if you did not understand. Okay. Another tip: when I put an example here, you can pause. After pausing, you do it on your own. After you do it on your own, you play the video. After you play the video, your example or the way you did it must be in line with the way I did it, or they must be more or less the same. Okay, then that's how you learn. All right. So I'm gonna do the last question. Then after that question, I'll be done with the long division method. It's not a long method, eh? I mean, it's not a long thing. It's not a big thing that I can do for hours. This is not Euclidean geometry. Yes, you may copy. All right. This is the last example. I decided to take our divisor as a 2-digit number. All right. So right now we have 2-digit number dividing into 3-digit number. So we have 389 as our dividend. All right. 3 divided by 18. 18 cannot go into 3. So it's going to be 0 comma something in your calculator. So it's going to be what here? A star. So 18 could not go into 3. So you shift, you go where? To 38. So you're gonna say what? 38 divided by 18. Take a calculator. 38 divided by what? By 18. It says 2,11111. But you don't focus on that 111. You just focus on the first number that you get on the left hand side of the comma, which is how much? 2. Okay? Listen. Just listen and do what I say you should do. Then I'm telling you. I don't mean to brag, but you'll get them. They will never beat you. Ever. They will never. Never. So just listen and follow the method. Maybe your teacher or some teachers out there are following different methods. You may do this method or the way I do it if other teachers are doing or are using the different method here or the different approach on the long division. Why not just do what I say you should do? Because there's no teacher who should make you wrong because you are using a different method. My mathematics teacher, Mrs. Mandugo, used to say there are many ways of killing a cat. Obviously, that's not her code, but I got it from her. Okay, but there are many ways of killing a cat. So if you are doing something or you are using a certain method and your teacher discourages you or marks you wrong, most importantly, and there's something wrong with that teacher. Yes. So we said 38 divided by what? By 18. It gave us 2,1111. We just took what? The 2. So from there, we divided. What are we supposed to do next? Multiply. Always follow this. Most probably won't see this anywhere, hey? I'm a man of revelation, so I came with it. It came as a revelation, this one. DMSD. Most probably will never see it anywhere in the world. I don't mean to brag, no disrespect to any teacher, but most probably won't see this. And in most of my videos, you will see other methods that came to me as a revelation. So, most probably won't see them anyway. Others I've learned maybe on YouTube, on other videos, but most of them came to me as in a form of revelation from the one above. So D, we divided. This one you won't see it anywhere else. D is divided. We divided. It goes how many times? Twice. What are we supposed to do now? Multiply. What are we multiplying? You are supposed to multiply the number that you got. Multiply by what? By the divisor. So 2 times 18, you take your calculator. Just 36. 2 times 18. 36. So you say 36. Then from there, we are done with multiplication. We're going to what? Subtraction. Okay? So 38 subtract 36. It's going to be how much? 38 subtract 36 is going to be what? 2. Then from there, we are done with subtraction. What are we supposed to do? Drag. We drag what? 9. We're going to put 9 here. And from there, again, we're done with this. We're supposed to go back to our procedure, which is what? 29 divided by 18. Take your calculator. 29 divided by what? By 18. You're going to get how much? 1 comma something. You're going to put your 1 here. Then from there, you say 1 multiply. Because we are done with what? With subtraction. No. We are done with dragging, which is all what? Or dropping. So you go back to D and say what? 29 divided by 18. And it's 18 goes once into 29. Alright? And from there you said 1 multiplied by 18 is going to be what? 18. And then from there you subtract. Then 29 minus 18. It's going to be what? 11. So we don't have any other number here. This means that 11 is our remainder. Alright. This brings us to the end of today's lesson, or this long division method lesson. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. Don't hesitate to call me or to contact me on futg.education@gmail.com. Yes, I can't give my WhatsApp number now. Yeah, but just contact me on my email and ask for my WhatsApp number. FUTG, fill up the gap, dot education@gmail.com. So you may ask, I teach maths, all the grades from grade 8 to grade 12. So this is a program, you just fill up the gap, the program that runs or that helps the learners with extra lessons. The learners from grade 9 to grade 12. So in grade 9, we teach only math. And then in grade 10 to grade 12, we teach math, physical sciences, and life sciences. For now, which is in 2021, the year 2021. So 2022, 3, 4, 5, we don't know what the revelation from God may be. But I believe that we'll incorporate all the major subjects. The little ones are tired now. Thank you very much. Thank you.